Hey, what's up, Virgo? Welcome back to one of my timeless general tarot readings. As per usual, make sure to check the timestamps below to skip to relevant parts of the reading for you. You do not have to sit here and listen to me talk on and on and on and on to get to the first card drops, but as you might be familiar by this point watching my videos, I really prefer to get clearer messages from Spirit and not haste into the reading through drawing cards off the top. It's my nature. So, with that being said, make sure you check the timestamps for relevant parts of the reading. Also, I have to make sure that I stipulate all of the disclaimers. All typical disclaimers are assumed. All non-typical disclaimers are asserted. I am not responsible in any way, shape, or form for you misusing the truth imparted by this message if it is not meant for your experience. Alright, so with that being said, I do have to admit that I had just finished a Leo reading that was like an hour and 20 minutes long, and it was very strange energy I was getting through that reading. It like started bleeding into my personal life, and I started like reading myself into the reading very hard just because of how I felt about the reading. And I'm happy to start this reading for you not under that energy. I'm ready to get back to doing reads for others, which is what all my reads have been up to that one. That one was very strange. So I'm happy that you're here, and I'm happy that I can deliver this reading for you. That being said, I am not drawing any cards for you off the top here very quickly. So I'm simply going to hold my tongue until I get something to drop for you. Stubborn energy today, Virgo. Stubborn energy. Last couple of readings have not taken this long to start off. I think this is something that goes back and forth in Virgo reads. Sometimes they're tough, sometimes they're not so tough to start. So I really apologize for this one. Make sure to check the timestamp and skip to the relevant start of the reading, because it is taking you a good minute or two here. We're up to 3 minutes now, and I've got nothing. So I'm mastering the energy of getting a card out more effectively. Goddess, I'd really like a clear message. Nine of Wands trying to come out there. I really want a clear message, please. I don't want to have to speculate on the authenticity of the reading. And I'd really rather not take cards out of the side. I would really rather take cards that flip or fall, please. So I do apologize, Virgo, for this. Bear with me here, and we'll get to something. Death card trying to come out a couple times. Nine of Wands again on the bottom of the deck. The Emperor on split. Very fiery energy. Great Goddess, can we please get some kind of... Alright. So this is very interesting. King of Wands, Page of Swords. Individuals, neither of which are your energy, but it looks like a potential older masculine who isn't necessarily interested in hearing what this younger individual has to say. The older individual has the potential to be open-hearted, though, and caring for others, so it's not a sign that this king is necessarily being arrogant. It may be validated that the information is not worthy, but they're both in the upright. So the Page of Swords, delivering this message, Okay, so strength card. Dang. Very fiery energy here. Inner strength. The Page of Swords is coming from somewhere. They know where they're coming from in this instance. Whatever this news is, it's too bad the King of Wands has their back turned, because there is in fact quality in what this page is suggesting here. Still no earth energy though, no earth individuals here. There may be an instance where the young individual knows what they're all about. The younger individual knows what they're all about. And they're coming from the right place with whatever this message is. The energy of the Page of Swords is somebody who is a truth speaker. So they speak the truth. And in the upright, they're not necessarily devolving to petty gossip. So they are... It's news that this King of Wands would typically take upon themselves, but they don't seem to be in the mood for it, I suppose. Let's see. What else can you give me here, Goddess? What else can you give me here? I'm actually going to try and clarify what is this King of Wands looking at? Because he's got his back turned to this Page of Swords and Strength card. Ace of Cups. Water energy, still not you. Heh. The emergence of form, or the emergence of energy from primal force. The deliverance of an emotional abundance. It's almost like this King of Wands has options either way. The page might have a good idea, but this king has got like other options too. So if you're the page, don't take it too hard. This king has other options. They're not being deterred by... They're not going to, like, whatever they're looking at it, they're looking at another good opportunity. They've got multiple good opportunities on the horizon. And it's not like... So it's not a bad problem to have. So I'm not sure who this is representing. I'm not sure if you are in fact the Page of Swords, but both of you are looking at this. If you're like in some kind of conflict with somebody, or maybe you're wishing somebody would take your side or something like that, try not to take it too personal. The King of Wands has multiple options here. That's kind of interesting. It wouldn't hurt though to see the Page of Swords side the whomever they are. Whether that's you or maybe you're the king. The king's got it set though. They're interested in this emotional opportunity. Whatever this, like they're more interested in the feeling good rather than, they're more preoccupied with their emotions and how they feel right now than they are with whatever this logical truth is that the Page of Swords is imparting upon them. It's just their prerogative at the moment. Even though the Page of Swords is coming at it from a place of strength. A couple times I've gotten the Two of Cups on the split and Two of Cups on the bottom. Leo energy with the Strength card out here. It's kind of interesting. And another fire with the King, of course. Very fiery Virgo energy. No Earth energy at all yet. Another thing though is that so the water diminishes fire. So this king is it's actually, even though the king is resonating with an emotional, even though the king is resonating with an emotional opportunity, they are to a slight degree deterring that because it's not the most natural to their energy. The Ace of Cups as a water energy is going to be diminishing the King of Wands to some degree. So even though the opportunity might make the... Well, okay, so there we have the Three of Wands coming up. I'm not sure where that wanted to go. I'm going to put it over here, though. So This is very interesting because that means that the Page of Swords is on to something. They're on to the fact that this King of Wands is maybe being like a smidge complacent. A smidge complacent, because the King is looking towards this emotional opportunity, but that is a little out of... It diminishes the King just a smidge, because the King is a fire energy, and the King is very action-oriented, primal force-oriented. So when they're found paying attention to that, it is a smidge of diminishment. So it seems like this Page of Swords is actually seeing that to some degree. I'm not sure what kind of opportunity this is for this King of Wands. I'm going to clarify. Past the Ace of Cups. Ah, dang. So there's finally some earth. Yeah, I don't know what's up. This Page of Swords is going to be showing up this King of Wands, because the King of Wands is finding themselves, they're getting short-sighted on this emotional opportunity, and they're not understanding how it's going to diminish they're not understanding that it's actually out of their nature and diminishing their quality. And essentially what that means is it kind of is blunting their action, their raw primal force to achieve their will through action. And it looks like they are going to make a emotionally based decision. That seems like a good idea, but there's something is missing, because they're leading... Whatever this decision is, the results are going to be very disappointing regardless of the effort put into it. The material results are very likely going to be shoddy material results. They could be results that are... How can I say this? I'm going to try and clarify past the Three of Wands here, but yeah, this is interesting. If you're the Page of Swords, you actually are seeing something. And in the long run, what's going to happen here is, because you tried to help the King of Wands through your own power, you actually are going to be able to... It's going to kind of help your outlook, because you're going to be like, that's right, I told you so. You might not say that to the King, but it's going to validate you internally that you were on the right path with this, that you actually knew better. And that does not to say that the King... For some reason, this King got beaten off their path a little bit. They got roped into something a little bit on the emotional level. That's what this is suggesting. And it's not of their typical quality to do that, because usually they rely on their own capability to take action, but in this instance they didn't for some reason. It'd be interesting to clarify on the second row. But the disappointing part of this is that we've got the Six of Pentacles here. So since this is balanced out enough, I'm actually going to move on to clarifying, because it's signifying where these two individuals are placing their faith and the results of that. So I'm not sure which one of you this is, to be completely honest with you. It is interesting, though, because it's a good sign of youth stepping up and seeing clearly somehow. At the end of the day, this King of Wands is, and I'm kind of missing the exact right words I've always used for it, but unfulfilled success. That's just what it is. The desire that this King of Cups is attaching to how they feel is going to leave them disappointed. That desire is not going to come through for them. And they're going to be kind of stuck like, dang it, this didn't work out like I thought. Darn it, that Page of Swords was right. They knew what they were talking about. Gosh darn it. So I'm curious to see on some clarifiers here. So I'm going to work on some clarifiers for this thing. Look at that. On the split, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. That's where everybody wants to be, I'd say. They don't want to be stuck in that 7 of Pentacles reversed energy. That's not cool. That's no good. So I'm going to leave this at 6 cards, and I'm going to move on to the second row and do some clarifications. Stuck there a little bit for some reason, so... Whoa. So this is very interesting. I'm going to do one more shuffle. It's interesting how this is turning into... And let me see here. The 8, 7... Okay, no. There's no 8, 8. It's always cute when the Leo card yields 8, 8. It might yield 8, 8 still. There's still a couple of choices here. Okay, so I'm going to start by clarifying the... Let's clarify... What do I need to clarify on this? I'm just going to clarify from your right to the left. So great goddess, will you please clarify for me the Three of Wands, please? So while I'm trying to get some clarification here, whoop, and as soon as I said that, King of Swords. Wow. This Page of Swords is leveling up. Because of the quality they've seen in their own heart to see this future, because of the fact that they in fact outdid the King of Wands in this instance, they are on their path to becoming a King of Swords, not just a Page of Swords. That is a serious level up. That's exactly what I was suggesting with this Three of Wands being a signifier of great confidence from this Page of Swords. This Page of Swords knows their inner strength, they know their inner capability, and through that inner capability, they are in fact taking upon themselves their own ability to achieve, and they see that, and their outlook is great. And in all of that outlook, the next step is to evolve into the King of Swords. So that's very good. Once again, though, it's not Earth energy, so I don't even know if this is about you or not. But maybe you're like a Virgo with a lot of air in your chart or something like that. I'm not sure, but if this is you, if you're the Page of Swords, you're on the level up here big time. This decision is going to validate your internal capacity to yourself, or whomever this is. It's going to validate Queen of Pentacles. There is you, maybe. So Virgo, older Virgo woman, maybe you are, and maybe, interesting. So validating the Strength card is Queen of Pentacles. So if you're the Queen of Pentacles, now we've got all of these lordly energies here. I don't know what this is all about, but Queen of Pentacles on the Strength card, internal strength. I'm not sure exactly. It's a good sign of a partnership. Undoubtedly. A great sign of a partnership. If you're this, it's like you might be looking from the outside in if you're the Queen of Pentacles in this instance. The energy of the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who, they're modest enough, but the one little thing they like is to kind of dress themselves up materially, so to speak. Like they kind of like to make themselves shine in that regard without necessarily pointing it out too much to others. They want to look good, but they don't have to necessarily, like, they're modest enough while they're at it. And the King of Swords is somebody who is they're definitely, once again, they're like a truth sayer. They're this Page of Swords leveled up. The energy is that they speak truth. Even if it's maybe sharp sometimes to hear for others. That's what it takes to be the King of Swords. So I'm curious why the King of Swords. I understand the King of Swords clarifying the Three of Wands. That makes perfect sense, and it makes perfect sense through the Page of Swords. But I guess it's like you're even going to attract someone who is worthy of you, a Queen of Pentacles. If you're the Page of Swords, if you're the Queen of Pentacles, then this might just be recounting a story about, like, maybe like your husband or your partner who is now this King of Swords, how they came up, sort of. That's sort of what I'm seeing from this, but it also maybe is like, maybe you were motivated by some kind of Queen of Pentacles, a mother figure, to make this stand. And that stand is what led you to this. I'm not exactly sure. It's definitely not the clarifier I was anticipating. It could also signify that perhaps, if we're going to go off the energy, you're going to be able to wear your confidence differently. You're going to be able to express your confidence not only through your words, but through your appearance. And you're going to it's going to like help to validate your inner strength from the outside. And you're going to be able to relish in your success, in your inner power, through expressing yourself materially by dressing well, by looking good, stuff like that. So definitely, it's just a huge confidence flex here, basically. So I'm not sure who you are in this reading. We've got 4 separate individuals potentially in this entire reading, so I don't know who you are. And we're only missing a water energy here. So a lot of mixed energy. Let's see, is there any diminishing fire and wind empower each other? So we're looking at, so here's one thing that is interesting though, is that wind diminishes earth. These two kind of diminish each other, just like water diminishes fire. So even though all of this energy is in the upright over here, the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, that energy kind of works against each other a little bit. So maybe to a certain extent, like, people might try to get under your skin. Like, oh, you're so successful, but you dress so well, or, you know, like, you're so successful, but you treat yourself well. Isn't that greedy, or something like that? Like, there's a smidge of a sign here that there's, like, a bias to a certain extent. Looking for one card, please. A bias from others, maybe, to try and get under your skin. That's, like, it's about the best I've got for that. I don't really have any other information for the pairing. It's interesting. It wasn't what I was expecting for the strength card at all. So, all right, let me try and get something else here. Great Goddess, can we please clarify the Page of Swords, please? If I could please get a clear message for the Page of Swords, that'd be awesome. Clarify for the Page of Swords, following the Queen of Pentacles, if you would, please. How about a clarify for the King of Wands? So this one to come out for the King of Wands. 5 of Swords. That tried to just come out. Defeat. This King of Wands is on the wrong path here. They should have listened to this Page of Swords. That's it. I don't know what they got roped into on this Ace of Cups, but they're falling into this defeat, so to speak. That's a little strange because the 5 of Swords in the upright is a sign that the, like, King of Wands is on the right path. Like, the King of Wands, so it's almost like this King of Wands is, maybe this is like a conventional way they succeed, and they are going down this path because they're used to succeeding like this, but in the long term it looks like they aren't going to. They're going to be disappointed. So I can't blame them necessarily for turning their back on this Page of Swords, because it looks like they are used to this working out, is really what it looks like. They're used to pushing against this criticism, or this, like, they're used to turning their back on the Page of Swords perhaps and it working out. They're used to having to rise above the dissenters and push forward anyway to success. So it might catch the King of Swords, or like it might just be a fluke, some kind of fluke here, that the King of Wands is failing to see this truth. But at the same time, maybe they usually, that's why I'm actually curious to clarify this Ace of Cups, because it's like, it's almost like they are, I'm not sure, they've got their anticipation. It's like they're relying on energy that they usually don't rely on, and they're turning away from their more natural primal action, and they're like trying to resonate on something different. So maybe they just aren't, like, I'm not sure exactly. I'm actually curious here. So Great Goddess, can we clarify the Ace of Cups, please? Any clarity for the Ace of Cups? How about clarity for the 7 of Pentacles reversed? Clarity for a 7 of Pentacles reverse. How about clarity for a Page of Swords? Clarity for the Page of Swords. Queen of Swords, wow. I've never seen this many court cards like this. This is like, this is crazy. All of the amount of energy that this Page of Swords is building up here is quite a lot. This Queen of Swords is even turning away from, they're one of the people that's walking away from this King of Swords, or King of Wands. There may even be some older individuals who are, and once again though, we've got this weird like wind energy diminishing this Queen of Pentacles on this strength card. So like, it's very interesting here how this Page of Swords is just leveling up hella level up. It's an interesting sign that this Page of Swords, it's not just their own internal strength, it's their ability to listen to others. It's their ability to kind of play the field, sort of. And maybe that's what this King of Wands is lacking, is that they can't do that the same way. Maybe they have learned to rely on themselves too much. And that is a part of their problem. Because this Page of Swords is like getting all of this support energy from other kings and queens, and they're listening to their internal strength, and they can see a solid path forward here. So yeah, it's just a sign of ally. The only thing that's weird here is that for whatever reason this King and Queen of Swords are surrounding this Queen of Pentacles, which really diminishes that Queen of Pentacles because of the wind energy diminishing earth energy. The Queen of Pentacles is still clarifying the strength card, so her strength is like, it's not exactly going to be disrupted by their criticism, but they're definitely like, they're really on her big time for whatever reason. And I'm not sure exactly what that is. Maybe the Queen of Pentacles is part of what motivated this Page of Swords to embrace themselves and not listen to the King of Wands. And the Queen of Swords is like, okay, I'll trust you, but gosh darn it, I've got my eye on this. And even though it works out in the long run, it's like, it's a very interesting situation. Whomever this cadre is of individuals, like this King of Wands, it seems like everybody has faith in this person. So I don't know what the heck is, I don't know what this page sees. I don't know how this page is, which is why I'm trying to get clarity here for this freaking Ace of Cups, because whomever is responsible for this Ace of Cups is throwing this whole thing out of alignment. Or I shouldn't say out of alignment. Whomever is providing this Ace of Cups to this King of Wands, whomever has influenced them like this, is really the source of this entire thing. They're the one who has forced this entire sequence of events to take place. So I'm gonna try and clarify this Ace of Cups here. Great Goddess, can we get a clarifier for the Ace of Cups, please? It's interesting too, if you are the Queen of Pentacles, maybe if you are, since this is the Virgo energy, if you're the Queen of Pentacles, it's kind of what this is suggesting is that to a certain extent, like, this is your idea for this Page of Swords to do this. And the Page of Swords' strength is you to a certain extent. And that's going to draw a lot of criticism upon you. Like, you know, a lot of people being critical of you, like, are you sure this is how this is supposed to go? Are you sure this is what you want to do? And it works out, the sign here is that it works out in the long run. It's all based on valid energy. This King of Wands is missing something big time. And it's disappointing because, like I said, it's like everybody is like, even like, what? What do you mean this is messed up? Like, what do you mean that they're on the wrong path here? How do you know this is a mediocre choice to make? But that's what's playing out here. And even the King of Wands in the long run it's insinuating that he is going to even figure that out. So, very interesting bunch of energy. Besides for this failure over here, like, everybody's got their shit together. All the energy is in the upright. Even the King of Swords is standing on ground that is typically firm, that usually serves him, which is why everybody is so wary of the turn, but the energy is here. So, this page can't do it without you, is the bottom line. It seems to be the bottom line. You're a piece of their strength. It's not just their strength. But other people believe in them too. And everybody wants this to work out. But this King of Swords could even surpass in the long run this King of Wands through this validation. So it's very interesting. There's a lot of potential in this individual if everybody sees this in them. And it's almost like I wouldn't be surprised if this Ace of Cups gets clarified by like the Wheel of Fortune or something fate driven, because it's almost like fate is trying to move this Page of Swords into their destiny and empower them like this. And to do that, fate itself may throw this wrench into this King of Wands plans, which is exactly why the like atypical plan isn't going to work, because the universe is getting involved. So I'm curious if the universe would please give me a clarifier for the Ace of Cups, because this is turning out, it's actually kind of interesting. And with the energy now, like there's so many different individuals that this could resonate for. You could be the King of Wands, you could be the Page of Swords, you could be the Queen of Swords, you could be the Queen of Pentacles. With how this paternalized looks like, the King of Swords is the Page of Swords in the long run, which is very interesting. But besides for that, there's a lot of potential for different individuals to be in this reading. So okay, Goddess, what about the Seven of Pentacles reverse? Will you clarify the Seven of Pentacles reverse? Queen of Cups wanted to come out there. How about the Ace of Cups? Can you clarify the Ace of Cups, please? Ace of Cups clarified. I'll even take 2 cards if you want to do a double clarification, Goddess. Can you please wrap up this reading with a... Whoa. Okay, so that's 4 cards. 5 cards. It's 5 cards, so... Goddess, please. Before I have to do that thing where I say you don't ever make it happen, and then you make it happen as soon as I say you don't ever make it happen. So I'd rather not question you to get the results I want. That's not my point. That's not what sometimes it happens to me. I'll be trying to shuffle, and all of a sudden there's a part of me that just says like, this is never gonna, and then cards flip out. It's very strange. Like my anticipation of having, okay, so that's 3 cards. Like just right there, like my anticipation of having 4 of Cups. This is a sign that the King of Wands is complacent, a smidge complacent. And even though they are maybe... Okay, so this is more... I'm surprised the 5 of Swords didn't come out in the reverse here. The King of Wands is just being complacent. They whatever this is, they aren't going through all of the steps they're used to achieve this success. And because they're focused on how they feel about it, they're not doing everything they need to succeed properly. So like it's kind of a sign of a complacent leader. And in that instance, this Page of Swords is saying, you know what? I'm not complacent. I've got this energy, and I've got this will to succeed. So, you know, he's not on board or whatever, or they aren't on board. The Page of Swords could be multiple energies. It could be masculine or feminine. Technically, it's just a younger person in general. So, and very interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's not even saying that anybody in particular, or even fate, is responsible for this King of Wands actions. It's literally just saying that they're just complacent. They've gotten emotionally complacent, and where they would historically like go through all of the motions, they might just be like, I don't feel like doing that part. I don't feel like doing that part, and it's the result is shoddy, is some kind of disappointing result. And the most typical way to describe that is complacency. They're complacent in their success. So even though they're going to go down the same path that usually gets them that success, the trick is that, or not the trick, but I don't know how this Page of Swords sees this, or I don't know how this Queen of Pentacles sees this, but like somehow they're onto the fact that this King of Wands is complacent like this. I don't know how they're doing it, because on the face value, it looks like it's business as usual. So that's why this Queen of Swords is so critical, because she's like, you know, like, how are you so sure about this? How are you so sure that it's not just going to work again like it usually does? Like, what's the pitch here? What's got you turning against him like this, kind of? And somehow, I don't know how it's happening between the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, but they've got their finger on the pulse of this King of Wands somehow, that he is complacent. And even though he's going to go down the same path, his whole heart and soul is not in it this time. Which is why he's like focusing on the emotionality. He's got himself in a weird spot. I don't have any clarifiers for why that is. Maybe he... Wow, 9 of Pentacles. How is this clarifying this card? It's another Virgo energy. Or it's Earth energy. Okay, so this is very interesting because that is a very tough clarifier. A very tough clarifier. The only thing I can really suggest is that it's going to work out in the end for the King of Wands also. They know what they're all about. They aren't going to let it get them down. Maybe they're like, it's a good sign they're going to learn their lesson if they're going to get back into the 9 of Pentacles. But I am wondering why it's clarifying the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, though. I have to be completely honest. Checking my camera here real quick. Why would the 9 of Pentacles be clarifying this? The idea is that the King of Pentacles, or the King of Wands, has earned they've earned enough material abundance that the results speak for themselves. And they've achieved wealth. And so I guess essentially what this is clarifying is that's why they are complacent. That's why they're stuck in this energy, is because they, like, it's almost like they've, once, it's like, I guess it's like grass is greener on the other side, as cliche as that sounds. The journey that got them there was more natural than having the results. And upon having the results, that's part of what's causing them apathy. And that's part of what is diminishing their typical primal fire energy and causing them to focus on their emotions differently than they're used to, which is definitely disrupting their natural tendency. And that's what's turning around their, whatever this material abundance was supposed to be. That's the best I've got for this. It can play both ways, in that it both means that the King of Wands is going to be able to overcome this. So even though this whole set of events is going to transpire, they have the capacity to overcome it. They have the ability to, like, not be fazed by it too much and understand what they need to do differently. But there's also a sign that this is why they became complacent, because they achieved their wealth. And upon achieving their wealth, they got bored with the grind of achieving this material quality, and they just fell into complacency. So I don't know whom this is referring to. I'm going to drop my cards here and set up for a conclusion here. There are a lot of potential individuals in this reading. A successful King of Wands is trying to be enlightened to the fact that some kind of material venture is not going to work out properly. However, because the King of Wands is used to success in their own way, they have achieved success in their own way, they are not interested in hearing what this Page of Swords has to say. So in that instance, this King of Wands is going to push forth with whatever attempt at gaining material abundance this is. The problem is that due to the success of this King of Wands, they're finding themselves a little disrupted in their emotional resonance. And because of that, they aren't acting from their same capacity. So even though they are moving forward with the same plan, the quality of the actions is disrupted because the King of Wands has become complacent from their success. And due to that, they're wrapped up in their emotions more than a King of Wands should be. A King of Wands should be wrapped up in their actions, not their emotions. That's the archetype. But because they're finding themselves trying to find that emotional jolt, so to speak, it is going to deter their craftsmanship, or it's going to deter the quality of the emotional abundance, or excuse me, the material abundance. And for some reason, there is a Page of Swords that can see this going on. There also may be a Queen of Pentacles who can see this going on, because the Page of Swords, in their attempt to perhaps enlighten the King of Wands to what is going on, is going to not be listened to, and the King of Wands is going to push forward anyway to their own failure. Nothing severe, but their typical approach, for whatever reason, is going to falter. And partly that is due to their complacency. And even though they're going to move forward without everybody on board, and typically when this happens, that works for this King of Wands. In this instance, it's not going to. The typical ways that this King of Wands succeeds, which sometimes requires leaving others behind and moving forward of their own volition, is, for whatever reason, this time not going to work. And it's not necessarily suggesting anything severe, but whatever this material endeavor is, the end result is going to be disappointing for this King of Wands. And this Page of Swords was trying to say that. This Queen of Pentacles was perhaps trying to say that, and they could see this. And they went on faith, trying to enlighten this King of Wands to the situation, but this King of Wands is not going to listen. They are going to move forward anyways, and they are going to receive the results that they deserve to a certain extent. Due to the validation of being correct on this situation, this Page of Swords is going to be empowered, and they are going to find their outlook in a very optimistic place. They are going to feel like they have the capacity to achieve of their own volition, and it's shaping up, and in the long term, like, they are going to become a king themselves. Their inner strength is affording them the opportunity to themselves be a King of Swords, not just a Page of Swords anymore. And while they're at it, they have people who are willing to help them out. They have the capacity to bring people together differently than this King of Wands appears to be able to, who is typically finding themselves having to pick sides and leave people behind to make this progress. This Page of Swords is on a completely different level, and they are finding themselves with a lot more allies in the mix. They've even peeled off allies of this king, traditional allies of this King of Wands. They're managing to peel away, and that is a sign of internal strength. And in the long run, this Page of Swords and this Queen of Pentacles and even this Queen of Swords, they're all going to be very validated in this decision, and they're going to have participated in empowering this Page of Swords into a king. So I'm not sure if you're the King of Wands. I'm not sure if you're the Page of Swords. I'm not sure if you're the Queen of Swords. I'm not sure if you're the Queen of Pentacles. Since you're Virgo, there's a good shot you're the Queen of Pentacles. And that you, for some reason, and one reason that could be is because you're watching this tarot reading. So because you were watching this tarot reading and you had faith in what is transpiring here because of the resonance, it might be your part to play to actually get this page out into the open to do this. And you might meet some sharp criticism from others, but they aren't exactly, like, even though they might have anxiety about it, for some reason they're resonating with it as well, and they're gonna go with you. Like, this Queen of Swords isn't going with this Five of Swords. They've turned away from it, and they've turned towards you, the Queen of Pentacles, and they're also there to support this Page of Swords into his quest to become the King of Swords. So this is very interesting. This Queen of Pentacles was you is really standing your ground here around all this sword energy. And if you are this Page of Swords, you're on your way to becoming this king. Your inner strength and your ability to achieve and the validation that you get from this situation is going to propel you into this situation. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And at the end of the day, this King of Wands will be, basically, they will be okay. They have the wealth to deal with this. They have the, like, they've achieved enough in their life that it's not going to get them down. They turn away from people, it looks like, anyway while they're at it, even though they succeed often doing that. It's just the nature of this energy. This King of Wands is fallen into complacency, and not everybody has to follow him into that. And that's sort of what's being stipulated here. So, alright, Virgo. That was a very interesting reading. It would be very interesting to meet these individuals. The Page of Swords in particular, this Queen of Pentacles in particular, that'd be very interesting. It would be interesting to see their quality, because it's being spoken of very highly in this situation. And not just their internal strength, but their ability to, like, kind of be diplomatic about things. And to kind of see between the lines, despite the way things always go, the way things usually go. So, and it's very wary. It's very good. I don't know who. The Page of Swords is who sees this for some reason. The Page of Swords is able to tell that this King of Wands is complacent. That was the original energy that came out of the reading. So they're like the linchpin of this, even though the Queen of Pentacles is who really helps to kind of drive their energy. It comes down to that page. They can see, somehow they see something, and that is also very important for like diplomaticness, and being able to grab allies and get allies, because you can see inside of, you can see between the lines, basically. So, all right, Virgo. I don't know who you are in this reading. This has got 5 separate potential individuals going on here, so I don't know. There could be many people watching this reading who represent. Sorry. There could be many individuals watching this reading who are represented by different parts of this story. So I'm happy that you were here to see this, and I'm very happy that we had 11 upright cards, only 1 negative card. So it's not like there's all kinds of good energy here for the most part. These two are a little mixed, but the rest of it is pretty dang good. So, for whomever this was for, I'm very happy you were here. I really enjoyed this reading. So, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.